What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And I hope you like this video. This is going to be your review for Ambitions. Now they gave us a double episode, and I guess this is season two, episode two. I guess that's what we're doing tonight. But we start this episode off. We see Miss Stephanie is working on some things. Her and Evan are having a nice little dinner. You know how they had their little passive aggressive. You from the outside it looked like they getting along, but on the inside they really trying to plot on how to kill each other. You know. So he gets up to roll out. She makes a phone call and says, "Look, yeah, he's on his way out." So of course they're looking for her. She got somebody following Evan, and then she says, "Now about that other matter, I need some intel." Now what we find out is she ends up calling, I guess, the other senior partner and says, "It's time for Daddy to go. It's time for us to get up out of here. It's time for to get Daddy out of here and make me the new senior partner of the firm." And he's down for it. He's like, "Yeah, it's time for us to get some new blood, what we need to do." So they're plotting and planning on that. Okay, we're gonna get back to that. Now over to Bella's apartment. Perla, ain't that the girl name? Thought she done rolled over there looking, and we found out that she knows where Bella has her secret stash. So she done went over there. Didn't I tell you, Bella, to get that daggone key back from that child? And why would you tell anybody where you keep your secret stash? Nobody need to know where that money is but your mama and Joaquin. That's it. Why would you tell some old chick that you got a envelope full of cash? Just stupid. So Bella catches her in the apartment. She's like, "What are you doing here?" She done made up a lie that she left her charger. She was like, "Girl, you come on, stop it. You're lying. What is it that what you doing here?" And so she sees the blood on her arm and she's like, "Whose blood is this?" So she tells her, "Look, I had to kill the bodyguard. He tried to rape me." Which technically is true. Technically he was raping her because she didn't want to have sex with him and he was making her because he was blackmailing her to do it. However, he was blackmailing you because you kidnapped Joaquin. Child. This episode should have been called the blackmail episode because I feel like everybody in this episode was either doing some blackmailing or being blackmailed in some kind of way. But we're gonna get there. So she says, "Well, let me call Evan." And Pearl is like, "No, don't call anybody, just let me go." Bella couldn't just play it cool because all Bella had to do was let crazy chick leave and then call Evan. But okay. Chick didn't believe her, didn't trust her, ended up knocking her out. Um, and again, why she didn't just leave with the money once she knocked Bella out, I don't know. This whole situation with Bella and this chick, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But we'll get back to that. So I'm trying to think what went down next. So okay, down to Thelma's place. Crazy cousin is still trying to get her money. She's still threatening Thelma because now they have a lawsuit. Not Thelma, and Dale. They have a lawsuit basically. They're contesting the will and they're basically saying, "Look, Senior was not really in his right mind. Remember he was having those spells when he wasn't taking his medicine like he should have been, and so they're using that to say he must have changed his will when he wasn't thinking correctly." And they do have that documented medically or what have you. So Evan is like, "Look, we got a pretty good case. We just got to chill out for a minute. She's crazy. It's gonna be what it's gonna be." Um, Titus and Amar, they're over to the house. And basically, Titus is letting Amar know, "Look, I know that the people I'm working for really ain't much or nothing, but I really need to figure out what's really going on and how deep this whole thing goes." So he's pretty much trying to take what's left of Purifoy, take them down from the inside. He said he's reached out to some people, he's got some information. He just has to keep digging because he really needs to know where all the skeletons are before it slaps him in the head. Now, personally, Titus, I think you need to just get up out of there. But okay, it's whatever. Back over to Bella and Perla. She wakes Bella up, honey. She drinking liquor straight from the bottle. She pouring the liquor on Bella. She's telling Bella, "You are the reason you ruined my life. You are the reason why my life is in shambles." Bella is like, "What you talking about?" She said, "Y'all didn't have to kill Eddie." Bella was like, That was you. You kidnapped Joaquin. Like, what you do that to me for? Well, you just an arrogant slut. It just didn't make sense. Like, what did this woman do to make you hate her so much? I mean, I guess that's just pure envy and jealousy, I guess. I don't know. So, of course, she's, threatening Bella, talking about she gonna set her on fire and all this other stuff. She showed Bella that she stole her money. And Bella was like, I trusted you. You don't trust nobody with a box full of money. What's wrong with you? Bella's simple. Um, and at the last minute, right before the woman getting ready to throw the match on Bella, of course, here come Evan with his security. Somehow or another, they knew what was going down. They knew Bella was in trouble. They got her out of there. He comforts Bella. Y'all know what's gonna happen with them eventually. Eventually, they're gonna end up having sex, which they do at the end of the episode. And you don't really know what ends up happening with Miss Perla, La Perla, whatever the child name is. But we see at the very end of the episode, we see that they have her in some sort of insane asylum. And when they show the attendants, don't get me in the comments, it's either Japanese or Chinese writing. Don't get me in the comments. I don't speak either one. But I know it's an Asian country and it's either one or the other. But somehow they didn't ship this woman off and she's in an insane asylum in a whole nother on a whole nother continent, and they are doping her up with drugs. Now, I'm sure they showed us that the woman was still alive for a couple of reasons. You know how these soap operas go. Until you see the body, and even then, people can come back. So I'm sure they're going to put that in their back pocket until they feel like they need to bring her back. But again, she's just crazy for no reason crazy. Now, and Dale then gave the ring to Senior's girlfriend, the one he was going to propose to. She went on and let the woman have the ring that Senior was going to use to propose to her. And in talking to her, she found out that Senior had been getting some prank phone calls. And then Dale was like, prank calls? What? She ends up going back, getting in Senior's phone and listening to his voicemail. Come to find out, cousin been threatening Senior for months about this loan. And I'm sorry, but threatening Senior for months about this loan, which doesn't really help their case. It makes it seem like Senior really did literally like change the will to get her off of his back. Like, I know I owe this money, I don't have the money, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave her part of the restaurant. It doesn't really help their case, but at least they do know that this has been going on for a lot longer than they thought, and that the cousin really on some other stuff. Now down to the attorney's office, attorney general's office, whoever Amara worked for, the federal people. They're trying to figure out how to get the mayor. Peterson. Now they know they have enough evidence to get the mayor. However, they really want to link Peterson in with this. And Amara is like, I know she's lying. I know that the former chief of staff, I know she knows more than what she's telling us. And at this point, she's really not a reliable witness because she's going to be lying. And we can't really put her on the stand knowing that she's going to lie or at least play with the truth. You know what I'm saying? Then Amara, on her way out the house, I said out the house, on her way leaving, guess who rolls up on her? Damon. Damon crazy as hell. Now, Amara had her mason. She was ready to roll. But of course, Damon talking about you really want to be with me. It's your husband that's keeping us from being together. So now I'm thinking, oh, he about to go try to kill Titus. Like, I'm really thinking Titus needs to watch his back because in Damon's mind, him and Amara would still be together if it weren't for Titus. So I was like, mm-mm. The good thing, though, the bad thing is that but the good thing is he's violated the restraining order, and so now there's a warrant out for his arrest if they can find him, which they can't seem to. Now back over to Purifoy, Titus is looking through old files. He reached out to old employees and got some of their records that they had at home. Now, the daughter is peeping this. Now, at the end of the day, the daughter is going to remain loyal to her father. So I think she kind of playing Titus because she thinks Titus is snooping into some stuff he don't need to be snooping into, and she's keeping an eye on him. But she's playing it cool. Titus, I think, is mistaken her concern for the company as her ready to turn on her father. She ain't ready to turn on her father, and she already told you that, Titus, that she's going to take care of the company, but she is not turning on her dad. She peeped that Titus got that paperwork and he has those files. Now I don't know if she knows there's something in there that shouldn't be in there or she's worried about something, but she definitely was keeping an eye on what was in those files while she was talking to Titus about, yes, let's work together. Let's try to improve the image of the company. Let's do some things. And I was like, Titus, don't you fall for that okie doke. She just trying to get close enough to see what you know, to how you know it and what you know. Now, Stephanie's mom comes by the office. And Stephanie tells her mom, she said, look, I'm about to take over the company. I got some information on dad that's going to put me in the position to take over. And her mother is like, do what? She said, did you know that dad has been laundering money for the mob, for the, for Greg Peters' dad? Mama was like, oh, yeah. She said, look, times was hard. He made us an offer we couldn't refuse. He became a client. Yeah, we laundered some money for him. Okay. So of course, Stephanie, that wasn't the reaction Stephanie wanted. And Stephanie said, well, Ma, it's time for me to take over, and I'm going to use that information to get what I want. Mama played it cool. But when they got to hugging at the end, Mama made this face like, yeah, this not about to happen. It ain't going down the way Stephanie think it's going down. So I was like, okay, Stephanie, you think your mother is your ally in this, but she's not. And Mama, what we have realized about Mama is Mama got a whole lot going on, and she got her hands in a whole lot of stuff that we don't know she has her hands in. So it'll be very interesting to see how it all falls out. Now, we also got, I'm sorry. Okay. We also got some more information. Come to find out that the cousin, now we thought the cousin was working directly with Greg Peters, at least I did. Cousin is working with Stephanie's dad. And she said, look, everything you told me to do isn't working. Thelma's after dark, me trying to run, and they're crazy. It's not working. As a matter of fact, it's making her even more determined that I'm not gonna have anything to do with what's going on, with the restaurant. He said, look, don't worry about it. I got you covered. Just do what I tell you to do. She said, well, what's up with this lawsuit? He said, well, um, they actually do have a good cause. This lawsuit is actually, not that crazy. She said, so you mean to tell me I turned down $500,000 because you promised me more? She said, I tell you what, somebody is gonna pay me. Either I'm gonna get that $500,000 from Evan, or you gonna do what you said you was gonna do. He said, look, listen to what I'm telling you, and you will be good. I got this covered. I was like, oh Lord. So then we end up seeing him talking to one of the associates that's working on the lawsuit, because of course Evan is using their law firm to sue, um to contest the will, because of course he doesn't know that they're working against him. And Daddy goes to the associate and says, look, I need you to pay off the doctor. I need you to make the paperwork look like Senior was of sound mind and body, so we can go ahead and get this lawsuit taken care of. And she was like, well, wait a minute, I thought we were on the other side. Why are we trying to make Senior look like he was competent? He was like, look, don't you worry about that. Just do what I asked you to do. She said, I could get disbarred for that. He said, oh, you could be the next junior associate and make a nice little piece of change in the process. I said, oh, here we go. So she rose up out the office because it looked like she gonna go for the okey doke, but I'm not too sure that she is. I don't know. She looked a little nervous about the situation as far as I'm concerned. Now, down at Thelma's place, Titus done ran into one of the old employees of Purifoy, one of the district regional managers. He's retired now, but he's talking to him, and basically old boy done let them know that they had a whole region somewhere in the Midwest where they were running a pill mill back in the 90s. Now, if you look at Claus, you know exactly what I'm talking about with a pill mill. But if you don't look at Claus, basically they have doctors that are overprescribing, that are keeping people addicted to the pain pills in order to create the supply and the demand. Now, he told Titus what was up, but then as soon as Titus left, he made a phone call and was like, we got a problem. My thing is, why didn't you just lie? I mean, he didn't even resist. He told Titus, I mean, as soon as Titus was like, so what's up with this? I found some paperwork. What's going on? He started talking like, like he was relieved to get this off of his conscience. But then as soon as Titus left, he made a phone call. So whatever. Now over to the Stephanie compound. She got her daddy and she didn't presented the information that she has against her father, proving that he laundered money and he did all this other stuff. And daddy was like, I know you don't think you about to you gonna blackmail me. Like, really? You gonna blackmail your own father? Like, really? She said, Daddy, I will do it. I will blackmail you in a New York minute, okay? You're going to resign. You're going to hand the power, the reins over to me. We're going to have a nice little retirement party. You're going to do it with publicly. Give me your blessing and give me your endorsement. And then life moves on. And I'll give you some old, I'll give you a little title to help you feel better about the whole situation. And here's what I'm saying about that. Y'all remember at the beginning when Stephanie tried to take over and Daddy was like, I'm always a step ahead of you. Don't you never worry. You can't never get the best of me. But he was actually nervous. Like he didn't see that one coming. But again, I don't believe he's a one trick pony. I really don't. I think he want to see how far Stephanie is really going to go to try to get rid of him. But I believe he knows he saw it coming, or at least had some inkling of a backdoor plan. Because you can't think that you've been laundering money all these years and doing stuff all these years that nobody was ever going to find a paper trail. Because like she said, you done got sloppy, Dad. So he told her, he was like, look, I have no intention of giving the company to you, and you can go and sit down somewhere. He said, if you throw a stone at me, you're gonna hit your mama. And that's when she was like, no, it's not, because you're gonna willingly give the company over to me. And so she ended up leaving him because she was like, look, I got some other stuff I need to talk about. I need to go deal with now. And he said, look, this ain't over by a long shot. Stephanie, I don't think you know what you bite. Because again, your mother's the wild card in this, and I really don't know. I really don't know where your mama stands in this whole situation for real. Now, over to Bella's loft. Like I said, her and the mayor end up having sex. The mayor leaves. She comes, bopping around the corner because, of course, she's feeling good about life right now. And guess who comes? And guess who's sitting in that living room waiting for her? Stephanie. And Stephanie lets her know, look, I know everything about everything that's been going on. She was like, how you get in my loft? She was like, because I told the doorman it's mine. She said, and before it's over with, I'm going to have this loft. I'm going to have your company. And if you really want to get jiggy with me, I'll sue for custody of little Julio. I am his stepmother, right? And of course, Bella tried to do the whole, I'm sorry, we didn't mean it. It just had blah, blah, blah. Ain't nobody trying to hear all of that. In this case, I'm with Stephanie. Ain't nobody trying to hear all of that. And so, of course, she leaves Bella sitting there looking real stupid. Now, over to the Titus house. Titus and Amara's having the house checked for bugs because, of course, she reported that she saw Damon and she wanted to make sure that Damon didn't get back into the house, plant any more cameras or anything like that. FBI do a sweep. They said nothing here. We'll have a detail out in front of the door. Don't worry about it. We're gonna pick him up. He violated the restraining order. He going to jail. While that's going on, Titus is down at Amara's favorite little bakery picking up some cupcakes for her, and he's on the phone with her. And I saw this one coming a mile away. He's on the phone with her talking about that he got her some cupcakes and how great his day was. And just as he's getting ready to start telling her about what happened down with the Purifoy guy, he gets hit by a car. Now, it could either be Damon or it could be somebody from Purifoy trying to shut him up. Interesting. We'll find out who, what, when, where, how. Now, just as Stephanie gets done giving Bella the blues, she gets in her car, and who gets in the car behind her? Mr. Damon. Now, Mr. Damon gets in the car, and he basically lets her know. He shows her the videotape that he has of her having sex with Greg Peters right there in her office, and then he goes on to let her know. And I heard you talking to your father about covering up a murder. And I heard you talking to your mom about money laundering. Oh, I've got all kinds of information that I can share. And see, once again, this is where the chickens are coming home to roost. He was like, you thought you was going, of course, he got his hand around her neck, talking about something. You thought you were going to control me like a little puppet? Is that what you thought you were going to do? She was like, look, how much is it going to take to get rid of you? He was like, $20 million in a private jet. I don't think he want no daggone money. I think he wants some control over Stephanie. Stephanie was like, I know you really crazy. Like, if you really think I got that kind of money, like, dude, you tripping. He was like, it's whatever. You figure out how you gonna get it because I want my money. Baby, and that's pretty much where the episode ended. So these were some pretty good episodes. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.